I will show you how to do these solution mixing problems. Typically, problems would say you have 30% solution and 70% solution you're adding. So you're adding them, and they want you to know what it would look like at the end, what percent solution that is. The answer is not somewhere, the answer is somewhere in between, but it's not in the middle because the amount you mix is different. So what you have to do is actually got to see it this way. That is, you got to see how much of the orange juice it has and how much water it has. So don't settle for 30% or 50%. See that's how much water and how much orange juice, how much water and how much orange juice. And then the answer is this. What to compute the answer, you have to have what you want, like orange juice or acid or whatever, divided by everything. Let me show you. So what you have is on top, you got to put these of what you want. I called it what I want. And on the bottom, you got to have everything. So that is your answer. Okay? Now let me finish the decoration here. Plus sign means I'm just adding them. So that's all you got to do. And you have the problem solved. Simply. Let's see if we can actually do a problem. Because I made it sound like so trivial here. So suppose I have this. If 2 liters of 30% acid and 3 liters of 60% acid are mixed, what is the acid percentage of the final solution? Well, we have to get this, right? So how much of the acid do we get from the first one? 30% of 2 liters is that. So it's 2 times 30%. Acid would come from the first one. And 60%, 3 liters and 60% of acid would come from there. So here, should I do this? Or do you see that this would be 3 liters? 2 liters, and this is 3 liters. So when I add this with this, it would be 3 liters. Sorry, 2 liters, the first one. And when I do this with that, it would be 3 liters. So what I have is this. How much acid do I have? Well, it's 0.3 times 2 is 0.6. And how much acid do I have? 180 over 1.8. Out of 2 liters, well, if I didn't do it this way, if it bothers you, I could have written here, okay, I know it's a 0.6 from here, and I know it's 1.8. But the question is, how big is this? Well, this was 0.6, and the whole thing was 2 liters. So this was 1.4, you see? So that they add up to 2. What I was telling you is, I was going to get 2 anyway, so why bother breaking it? I can just use this number. And also, I got 1.8, so this guy's 1.8. So how big is this? Well, out of 3 liters, 1.8 is there, so 1.2 is here. So I'm saying it's 1.2. So you could say 1.8 plus 1.2, or you could just say the whole thing, which is 3. So this is the answer. And you're looking at it, how to do this problem. Simple? Let's finish it. So it's 2.4 over 5. It's always easier to multiply by 2 to get 10 on the bottom. If you have 5 on the bottom, just multiply by 2, and you get 4.8. So 0.48 is what we get. 0.48 is what we get is 48% solution, which makes sense. It's somewhere between 30 and 60. If they were mixed 1 to 1, the percentage would be right in the middle, 45%. But this guy had an edge. The stronger one had a little more volume, so it moved toward the higher one. What I'm talking about is it was 30% and 60% solution. If I wanted to hit smack in the middle, it would have been the average of these two numbers, which is 45. But there was more of this guy, see? So the answer moved toward there because it went to the stronger, a more abundant one. So 45 had moved closer to 60, and indeed, it went to 48. So at this intuitive level, I also know this answer is correct. But the picture you see here, let me just erase the whole thing so that you can see it, is the essence of solving the solution problem. In fact, let me arrange it so that you can even see it better. Because this, I see this would be better. Let me move it this way. This way. And this way. Okay, so that way you don't have to compute the volume of water and acid separately. This would be this whatever the total thing was, and this is whatever total volume was, and on top you add whatever the acid or orange juice or apple juice that you have. Now, sometimes problems are asking for this percentage here. Sometimes they give you this and they're asking this what's missing here. But then again, equation is equation. You know how to solve for the variable. So armed with this knowledge, solution problems would become a lot easier once you get this picture in your mind.